Recording in progress.
Uh, Hi everyone. So this is week 6 project. So to start with the task 1, wherein we have been given this Amazon sheet, the first thing to do here is to check on the ACOS. Anything more than 100% is avoidable as per the instruction. So if you see these three, straight away has to be removed. So these campaigns or the ads needs to be paused immediately. So what I've done is like I've filtered this and I got this three after filtering you will get the ads which needs to stopped. Okay, so here is the filter that I've used, and if you see here is the filter. Okay, and you see these ads are gone. So these three campaign we have to stop it. So this is the first. Second, what we have to do once we have stopped these three, we have to check all remaining out of these. If you see these green ones which I've highlighted, if you see their ROAS, their ACOS, everything is favorable. So we can scale these campaigns, because if you see 7.6.2, all of these are way low than 100. So, and the ROAS, if you see 12.8, 16 point, it is also way more than what is required. So normally if we see, even if realized ROAS is more than 2.5 to 3, most of the time it is okay to run, but obviously you have to check case basis all the operational cost and everything to understand what is the realized ROAS. So here, if you see with these green ones are good to go, we can scale these three. Okay, so this is the second step. So first, what we did, we removed everything which was more than 100% uh, for this parameter ACOS. Then in the second phase, what we have done, we have highlighted those campaigns which are giving good uh, data response in terms of ACOS, ROAS, and all other parameter. Okay, so this is the second. Now, what is the third? The most important thing is here. Okay, now what we will do here is there are, if you have gone through the task, we have to define the three conditions. Okay, so what we have done in this sheet, we have taken our customer acquisition cost as 150. Okay, but as per the calculation, we know that 30% of the CAC is our permissible, which is 45 in number. So anything which is more than 45, we need to pause all those campaign. Okay, so our ad spend exceeding 30% of CAC is not recommended. Okay, so what we have done, since if you will take 150 as your CAC, okay, 30% of 150 is 45. So anything more than 45 in terms of ad spend not a not a good sign. So we need to stop those. So I put a filter, okay, and greater than 45 in the filter. Okay, so all these campaign that you see, we have to pause all of these. Okay, so as I have mentioned, pause all of these campaign need to pause. Okay, and now the another case, for example, if our spend is between 20 to 30, what are we supposed to do? So for that, you need to put a filter here. Again, if you go to spend, you see the filter that I've allocated, custom filter. Okay, between 30 to 45. So, okay, so between 30 to 45 is what gives us the number. So the ad spend lying between 20% to 30% of the CAC. So 30% of CAC is 45, 20% of CAC is 30. So between 30 to 45, what all campaigns are lying? So when we'll put the filter, you see all these numbers are between 30 to 45. Okay. Now these campaign, we can reduce the bid by 50%. Okay. Once we will reduce the bid by 50%, after that we will see their ad spend should not should be within the bracket. It should not exceed 45. The moment it reaches the 45, we have to pause those campaigns, so we can just reduce the bid and continue running these ads between 20 to 30. Now the last thing is what we need to do for those ads which are less than 30. Okay, in that case we have to wait and watch. Okay, 1 second. Huh. Okay, so again you put a filter in the similar fashion. Go to spend. Less than 20% is what? 30. 20% of 150 is 30, right? So CAC is 150. So 20% of 150 is 30 number. So we have put a filter. Anything less than 30. Okay, less than 30, we can wait and watch. Okay, of these campaign, we can let it run, and we can just keep an eye on these. So this is the basic optimization for Amazon ads. So the campaign sheet that we, so I'll just reiterate or recapitulate everything that I've done, what I've done. So I'll go to the initial sheet. Okay, so if you see this sheet, initial sheet only, we have all data is there. Okay, you can see all the data. If we will compile all the separate activity that I've done, it will look like the same. Okay, but to explain, I did it separately. So first thing what I did, I filtered with the respect of ACOS more than 100%. So those campaigns more than 100% of ACOS has to be stopped. After that, you by observation, if you see these two also, as explained, if you see, for example, these two campaign, we can stop, pause these two as well. If you see, our sales is 267. Okay, our spend is 40. We have only 27 rupees. And if you have gone through the realized ROAS calculation, do you think 27 rupees will be sufficient to sufficient to take care of all the expenses in terms of credit card, platform charges, employee cost, and all other operational costs? Not possible. So we can still, this one we can still consider, or we can pause both. This definitely we have to pause without any question, but rest we can see all the data. And so the third step was to scale. So we will scale all these good ROAS and good ACOS numbers. All of them are way low than 100. These are way above than our permissible thing. So we can still run it. Okay. So we can scale these and we have to keep. So if you see anything, you have you if you see there is no ROAS. If you see any ROAS like 2 3, then we have to check the actual realized ROAS and we have to pause that. But it is very simple here. So these numbers are self explanatory. These data and these is clear indication, we can scale these. After that, what we have to do is we have to, here we already have been given 150 as our CAC. So we will calculate the permissible ad spend with, so 30% of CAC is the permissible, the highest, which is 45. Okay, so 45 we will put a filter. So those campaign exceeding 45, we can pause them. Now another is bid optimization. So for bid optimization, what we have to do is we have to check all the campaign exceeding 30, 20% of the CAC. So those exceeding 30 and below 45, for those campaign, what we will do, we will reduce the bid by 50% and we will let the campaign run, but we will check regularly if the spend is not coming anywhere near to 45. In case some of the campaigns the spend is coming near to 45 or is about to cross 45, we can pause those. Rest all we can run. So this is the second condition. Third is any campaign less than 20% of the CAC, which is less than 30 here. So those we can still run wait and watch. Okay, so this is the nutshell summary. So now I'll go to the another task. Okay, wherein okay, so let me open the second task, which is 1 second. I think LinkedIn was the third. Apple KI project, I guess. Yeah. Okay. Let me open the correct sheet. So in the Apple KI, well, it's a very simple task. What we were asked is to just calculate two things. The 1 second. X6. Yeah, fine. So if you see, uh, so this is our original sheet, correct? Now, if you see here, yeah. So relevance in KI is supposed to be calculated. Okay, so if you remove these two data, and then we have to apply the formula. Okay, so I've applied the formula here as per. So it's very simple. You have to just apply the formula, drag it or range it, and you will get the answer. And based on this relevance, again apply the formula KII also in the similar fashion. So you will get these two data very easily. So this was the basic assignment. But now what is the interpretation? Once we have the relevance at KEI, what are we supposed to do? So if you go through the further explanation by the instructor, we have to run the campaign because the Apple does not give us the keyword details as similar as in the same fashion as what we get through Google Ads. So here we have to run the campaign, and once we run the campaign for discovery and brand, then we will get to know which all keywords are ranking or which all keywords are giving the performance in terms of all other leads and all other actions. Based on the performance of these keywords, we can categorize these keywords as a so brand keywords, L1 high intent keyword, then L2 and L3. So accordingly we will be allocating our budget for L1, L2. So these are the next implementation. For that, we have to run an ad. Here, what we have been asked is to just to calculate. But for our my sake, what I've done is uh, what you can do here is to understand so this filter was not working. So one of the important, you just put a filter and sort this from highest to lowest. So you'll get those with highest KEI. Okay, so the greater the high KEI is better for the keywords. So those are the high intent keywords. So you can put a filter of KIE and sort the here. So you can sort separate like 6 digit, the highest 6 digit keywords in one separate group, 5 and 4 in separate. So 3 4 categories, 6 figure, 5 figure, 4 figure, 3 figure. So you will have these 5 different types of keywords with similar kind of KEI, which will give you a better understanding. And okay, so as I said, apply brand, and highest priority should always be given to our brand keywords. Okay, so if you will put a filter in the existing sheet, you will find two brand related keywords as well. Okay, as I said, we have to run the campaign for brand discovery and then categorize based on the performance, which L1, L2, and L3. Okay, and as I told, L1 after brand, L1 is the next prioritized set of keywords for which 30% bid can be given. Okay. Similarly, L2 we can give 10% and 5%. So this is the next implementation. So just to summarize, we have to just calculate these two relevance KI and then arrange KEI from highest to lowest and then filter separate set of KEIs. Okay. And then for further, we have to run campaign and then do the further proceedings. So this is the task number 2. Okay, so now we'll come to the task number 3 to analyze the LinkedIn data. Here in LinkedIn, we have been given two set of data. Okay, in that we have to analyze the best performance messaging campaign and best performance creative. So two types of campaign are there. So what I have done here is very simple. In terms of engagement, I put a filter for engagement. I put a filter for viral impressions. Then I also put filter to the average CPC and CPM. Okay, so once I put all these filters and arranged and after so the automatically it will arrange from highest to lowest as I have put a filter like that. So you will see this is one of the uh, messaging campaign for which I think is the best one uh, for the existing set of date campaign. So this is the best one in terms of if you will see all the metric, total spend versus impressions, clicks, click-through rate, if you see 75.9, then if you will see the average CPC also 10.8, then average CPM this much. Okay, but if you will compare these two, engagement is also good. Okay, then total engagement, then to engagement. One second. Okay, if you will see the messaging sends how many this much, open rate this much. So these many people have opened. These many messages were opened, out of these many were sent. Okay, so it's also good rate. Open rate is also good. Okay, and if you see clicks, then button click, then if you will see the finally the open data, as I said, when you this data is correct, so this will also reflect the same thing, no? So if you see all these data and then finally end, you see the lead form, lead completion rate. Okay, then cost per lead and all. So you analyze, you put a filter to maximum of these. So you will get this one as the best one. Similarly, for creative also, I have analyzed and what I found, this one particular creative ad has performed best. Okay, so so the creative number 3. Okay, so there are other creatives also very near to this, but when I put filter similarly to different metric, I found this one. So even so, there are some of them might have better CTR, but overall this I found better. Okay, if you will check in terms of uh, average CPM, click-through rate, so all the metric. Then if you see this one also, engagement, it's a little less, but you have to compare only with the creative. So from the creative, it is at par. Okay, so highest if you see 1.94, but this is also decent, but all other metric is much better. But if you go and check the final, this thing, lead completion, so this is very good, 10.22. Okay, this one is also very nice. And finally, if you see the most important for me, click to LinkedIn page. So, so this is also very good. So if you compare with any of these, so these are the two campaigns, one messaging, one creative image, creative based, both of them are really good. So these are the two which I filtered, and the method I've used, I've put a filter to various metric as I showed here. Uh, if you will find a lot of you see I put filter here, engagement. Then I have put filter to viral impressions. I have put filter to click through rate, leads. So I put filter to minimum of I think 5 to 6 for separate both the campaign, because they have separate uh, columns as well for some of the metric. So likewise, I have found this data. Okay. So thanks. I think this much is what I have covered. So engagement here, if you see, uh, then okay, fine. Thank you so much.